One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.
Greetings, this is Tai Brown, and I'm here at the 2017 NACDA convention. I'm sitting here with Wren Baker, who's the Vice President and Director of Athletics at UNT. Thanks for joining us, Wren.
Thanks for having me.
Wren, I just want to ask you a quick question here. You have a philosophy on the future of development and fundraising. What advice do you give to someone who's thinking about going into fundraising in athletics?
Well, I think diversity of experience is going to be so important because there's been a heavy emphasis on major gifts, and major gifts is always going to be a sexy thing to be involved with, but I really see as the multimedia rights fees that schools are collecting are starting to cap, and in some cases even come down a little bit. There's going to be more and more pressure on the annual fund, and so having the ability to understand how to manipulate a database, how to get into the back end of Pacquiolin or Ardix, whatever you're using, and and understand how to read the data, and how to best employ strategies to maintain and grow the annual fund. That's going to be a very, very critical skill set for fundraisers, because I think athletic departments are going to need that more than ever before. The annual fund's always been important, but as those other revenue streams stop that accelerated growth, that's going to be really, really critical for the future fundraisers.
And of course, that annual fund is what things are based out of for a lot of athletics.
It is. Jeff Comfort, we just did an interview with him, and he's an old lineman, and he said, it's your offensive and defensive line. It's not the sexiest thing, but it's hard to be good without it. And that's a really fair comparison. And in my mind, I think there's going to come a time when maybe your annual giving guy might be one of the highest paid guys on your staff, because I think to be able to produce that revenue, to be able to use the data to drive strategies for growing revenue, and I just think that's going to be maybe the most valued commodity in college athletics over the next few years.
Well, that's pretty good information, especially coming from you, somebody with your background and what you're doing now there at University of North Texas. Well, I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you very much for coming on and giving us your insight.
Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it.
This is Tai Brown signing off.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.